Let's begin with the oldest generation, traditionals. Now, traditionals were born before 1946. And let me just say at the outset of this training that the years are not necessarily the most important thing for you to remember. In fact, you'll go online tonight and probably end up pretty confused because there'll be different generational years for different generations. They'll be off by 2 or 3 years. That's why the word really matters. But as we begin, traditionals were born before 1946. They're our oldest generation. They are a shrinking demographic, yet they are still very viable in the workplace right now. Now, they don't lead the way they used to, which was by title. They're not president, vice president, director, superintendent, mayor, pastor, CEO. They're not those titles anymore. You see, they lead more by indirect influence. Titles like parent, grandparent, board of trustee member, mentor. This generation is still having massive impact in the workplace and in many cases are still working. Their word is the word rules. They love and appreciate rules and structure. And why wouldn't they? Think about it. They grew up with the public works programs of FDR, the military bureaucracy of World War II, post-World War II corporate bureaucracy. They love and appreciate rules and structure. And that's why the pandemic was probably very hard on them, was because there were so many rules and rule changes, and they were just a generation trying to keep up with them. So whenever you work with this generation, always remember the word rules. Now, the image I want to give you to create that mental peg is an hourglass versus an Apple Watch. Simply put, you have to operate on their time, not your time. They're not going to speed up for you. But if you will slow down for them, oh my goodness, they have so much institutional knowledge they want to share. But they want to share it with people who want to listen. And that means that we, outside of this generation, have to slow down when we work with them. Now, the other reason I put an hourglass here is simply that they know their time is running shorter. This is a generation that understands that there's less runway than there was just a little while ago. And they want to use that time, use those grains in that hourglass to share what they've learned. Here's what's really interesting. So many of us right now are running around at breakneck paces, trying to figure out questions to or answers to big questions. Questions like, how do you stay married to the same person for decades? How do you come back from failure? How do you deal with success? How do you raise kids or grandkids? Big questions. And what's interesting is if you would just slow down long enough and spend some time with a traditional, they might have answers to those questions and you wouldn't have to run and try and find them elsewhere. So whenever you're working with this generation, here's the connection point. Slow down first. Always remember to slow down. It's their pace, not your pace. And you always want to use the word rules as the setup for however you ask a question. Hey, what are the rules to staying married to the same person for multiple decades? What are the rules do you see as coming back from failure? Or what are the rules in handling success? Always couch your connection with this generation around the word rules, and it'll be amazing the institutional knowledge that they want to impart to you. So that's traditionals.